Coach.
We are now joined by junior forward Shante Evans, head coach Krista Kilburn-Staveski, and sophomore guard Caitlin Loper. Coach, comment about today's game.
Just another great team win. I haven't actually seen the assist to turnover ratio. Well, we were not exactly where I want to be. No, it was still a really good team win tonight against a Big East foe here. That I thought we did a good job from the start. I think I set the tone.
Questions?
Coach, coming back from a long road trip, was it nice to be playing back home?
I felt like it was really nice. You can ask these guys that question, but we were very happy to be back home. Just back on our court with our rims. The rims were a little tight down in Cancun, so it was nice to be back home.
Caitlin, a couple of early threes for you seemed to really get the team going. What was the mindset coming out of the gate?
I don't know, actually, to be totally honest with you, because I was like, all week I was struggling, and my shoulder was giving me a little bit of problems, and then I was warming up, and I was like, oh my gosh, and then I just hit the first one. I was like, okay, Caitlin. I told myself that I was like lucky. Then the second one, Tay passes it to me, Shante, sorry. And I'm like, I feel myself far off, and then she was like, Kate, pass the ball back, and then it was just, I released it, and it went in. I was like, okay, this is kind of nice. So, I mean, I didn't know, but then I was comfortable after the first two, obviously, so it was fun.
Coach, 50 points in the first half for you guys. How impressed are you with the offense here tonight? 94 points overall.
I was, they had just beat Old Dominion. They had played some tough teams. I mean, I personally watched so much film every single game. I don't know how many times watching Alabama before we even walked down here tonight. So, I had Seton Hall overload. So I just think that our defense in the beginning did a good job of setting that tempo, and then it allowed us to, attack and score, and then kind of get confidence on the offensive end. I thought our post players made really good decisions. Tay had 3 assists before you knew it. A kid that can score and put points on the board, but also was really handling and making good decisions and taking it coast to coast tonight. We had a new press break. It's called Shantae's press break, and that's not what we worked on all week, but it looked good. Just proud of them. More so, like we're not too comfortable right now. It's 100% about us, and that's what I do love about these kids. And it's not just lip service right now. It's like, we're just take everything extremely serious and own to the next point, and but can definitely be happy about doing some good things, and we still can play better defense down the stretch, and we need it from top to bottom, and I think that kind of showed that tonight. The last 4 or 5 minutes of the game we gave up a little bit too much, but everything's a teaching moment too, and they know that, and it's a lot more fun to teach when you're up by 20, but everything is a teaching moment for us because we just don't get out there, and we had some sloppy play toward the end a little bit, and we got to get better. We're good enough top to bottom and play better all the time, so that's our goal.
Coach, is there a certain, I feel like maybe in the past there's been this is a Big East team or a major, high major conference opponent where it's kind of a landmark. Do you think you're past that point now? This team is good enough where it doesn't matter what conference you're playing against?
I think we passed that a lot, even last year. Like I said, that we were a little chippy with where we were last year and where we ended up, but we still had some good wins that we knew that we were, we can compete on the floor with anybody, and and it was nice to kind of have that build. You hope that you didn't, you have to have some adversity to get to the point where you are now, and I think we've fought through a lot of adversity, and we beat a lot of good teams, and I kind of reflect back, some of these, obviously these guys weren't here, we played BC, but I remember going up to BC, and they changed ACC, and I remember when we were young, and people were looking at the ACC logo on the floor, so I think we've been past that, definitely for the last 2 years, but it does help to get the W's to help you get past that, win at Providence, Providence, we'd won the year before at home, so, and again, they ended up finishing like 6th or 7th in the Big East that year, so yeah, those wins help you.
With last year, with maybe some lack of depth in the front court, how reassuring is it to see Devin Green and Marie Malone combined for 24 and 17 tonight?
Phenomenal, and that's, I always said, these guys know, we felt like we were about 1 player short last year, and it helps having that extra height and having that size, and it gives us all like a little bit of a breather, especially when we've had a lot of quick game turnover right now, and then got to turn around and play Georgia State, and then turn around and go on the road to Hartford. So, as much as people don't want to sit, but it's nice to be able to sit because they know it's a long season, and we got to find that healthy balance of making sure we don't burn out at all. So it's way early to be talking about that, but keeping our bodies fresh.
Coach, up 20 with 5 minutes to go, you see Caitlin miss a 3, then see him run 15 feet to scramble for a rebound, set up a shot for how comforting is that?
Awesome, and she knows that's what I talked about in the huddle. I'm pretty consistent with what's important to me, even though sometimes it doesn't show on the defensive end, but just the hustle points and the 50-50s and, just you making a chance to change, you changing things to get better and making on the floor, decisions and getting better, while the action's happening. Some different plays happened tonight. They had to make some adjustments on the fly. So, we're pretty good. These guys have always been really good about scouting. We've conditioned these guys with scouting since, again, way before Tay got here. In those rough years when we were struggling, we still had, the 30, 45 minutes of scout with the big scout book, so they're conditioned to this and they can handle what we can throw at them, and it does pay off on the floor, especially player personnel stuff, and, we got to keep, getting better on that. But yeah, the 50-50 stuff, the hustling stuff, and, the stuff that attacking the boards, we ended up better on the boards tonight, which was a big goal we had at halftime, that we needed to be plus 10, and we accomplished that goal. So that was a big personal feat for us tonight.
Shante, 17 minutes, does it feel good to know that, scoring burden won't be on you every night now?
Yeah, I knew that coming into this year that we have depth throughout the whole bench, so there's going to be some games where I can just sit the bench and I can have my teammates just win the game for us, Anyone on our team can score, so that's definitely a good plus to know.
Well, I'm not going to let her sit the bench too long.
Shante, what were you thinking when you had those 2 opportunities to go coast to coast?
When I first started playing basketball, the first thing I can do was dribble, so I always had that in the back of my hand, and I have this little step I have over some of the post players guarding me that I can dribble a little bit, and I was a little bit, when I first went coast to coast, no one picked me up. I just kept going. And it's like, okay, this is easy. And they gave me another chance to do it again, so I just took it.
Coach, for your team, 29 of 33 from the free throw line, good for just under 88%. I mean, how comforting is that to see your team knocking down the freebies from the charity stripe?
It's pretty awesome, and it just shows the level of confidence that we have right now, and we've got a really good healthy mix of our offensive ability to score, and and a lot of people have a lot of arsenals, so it's nice to see them being able to contribute. I mean, Devin Green's phenomenal from the free throw line, soft touch, and you put her on the floor and she gets fouled. I want her on that line, and Tay's a good great free throw, improved every year she's been here, so nice, very nice.
Kate, does it kind of make you feel like Hofstra women's basketball has really reached a certain point when you're beating 2 very good area teams like St. John's and Seton Hall just within a couple weeks of each other?
Not really, because when I first came here and Coach was telling us, when you play big conferences that, people are going to think you guys can't win, you're the underdogs and stuff like that. And when we went in and we competed and we beat them, it wasn't like a big surprise to me because we all know how good we really are as a team. And Coach always tells us, we're as close as a family, and everything that happens within us, we know, and we don't have to prove it to anybody else but ourselves. So from the get-go, I knew we can play with them, and so when we beat them, it was reassuring, but at the same time, we know that we can compete with any team on the floor.
For any 3 of you, just how fun is playing in this offense and just playing on this team?
Honestly, I love this offense. There's so many options. You can throw any defense you want, but there's always an option, someone to score, get open. Especially if you look at our team. If you're gonna double me, you're gonna leave Kate open, you're gonna leave Persa open. You double me, you have Brady down low, and we have Can just driving by people. So our offense is great.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter what defense you throw, like Shante said. When we see zone, our eyes light up as shooters.
Yeah.
And then when you see man, our post's eyes light up, so it's either way. And it's so fun because I remember telling people, we know we're going to get wide open looks. So when you know you're going to get wide open looks and you know you're going to score, it's obviously fun. So I just wish that, other people could experience, how fun it really is, but at the same time, I really don't.
Well, and then one thing that they know that I'm getting ready to say right now is just not to bust their bubbles, but no, but it's they make it happen. In the days when we're in practice playing against 6'7" and 6'8" and our practice players and things like that, when things, you know, the stuff behind the scenes you guys don't see, you know, those are the times though, and they know that, you know, it looks like at times it might be easy, but you know, it's not, and it's, you know, and they work hard to get to this point by sharing the ball. The tone was set from the beginning, and you guys saw, I never hear anything anybody says, and I heard somebody, might have been at the end of the bench or whatever, just talking about how well we shared the ball. I mean, that's what makes it look good, because that's what breaks any type of defense down. It's like, you know, and again, an offense is, you know, is only as good as your players that you can, you know, get to put in it in the system and get them to believe in it and get them to run it. And, you know, and I was on some folks tonight about getting in too deep and not making passes sooner, and, you know, those are some of the things that you can run into, you know, some roadblocks with, and we just got to be better, and it just gives them a sense of ownership on the floor, though, you know, which you want your players to be able to make reads and react, and, you know, let them be the ones that are learning and controlling, because at the end of the day, you know, we run a lot of hits, but it's like the second and third thing that happens out of that, you know, so if we're running a look for Tay, you know, it might not be there, so, you know, it really is teaching kids how to be 2 or 3 steps ahead that you've tried to do from your quick hitters and things you've done in the past as a coach, you know, so that's what I like about it. It's like it kind of helps you already give you the second, and third, and fourth option that should be happening anyway, you know, so proud of them of how they run. I want to give them a lot of credit, because it's certainly, you know, not as easy as it looks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.